Yeah, so just we don't even need to talk about the balance sheet because that's a little advanced, although
Hmm.
like at some point you've got to get into the balance sheet, but profit and loss statement. If we're going to run
Yep.
a good healthy business, we got to look at our P&L. You have sales, then you have cost of goods sold. But we don't want generic categories that the bookkeeper came up with in our cost of goods sold. Because, like,
Mm.
you'll see things like in subcontractors' expense, you'll have gutter guys, painters, drywall guys, your roofers. You'll have all sorts of stuff lumped into there. But if I'm a roofer and all those outside subs that aren't roofing subs should be separated. I want to know what I pay in roofing labor because those are the jobs that I estimate. I want to know what my roofing labor is.
Mm.
Um, Job materials. Maybe you don't want to see your ABC, Beacon, SRS. Maybe you don't want to see that amount category lumped in with all your miscellaneous Home Depot purchases. Maybe that muddies the waters for you. Maybe you want to see them separate. But those are just decisions you as the owner would know. And then the marketing's huge. You can't just have advertising and promotional and have every dollar you've ever spent in marketing in this lump sum category. Now you have to click into the category, look through all the transactions, okay, and then add it up. Whereas if your bookkeeping was in order and you would categorize those expenses and you had Google LSA in a subcategory, PPC, maybe you had a branding category for things like that, billboards, TV streaming commercials, meta ads. If you separate it all out into subcategories, now it's real easy to look at the marketing metrics we were talking about, return on ad spend per channel, because you have nice, clean data to pull out of QuickBooks and make those calculations. Um, so just all sorts of detail in your books that you, as the roofer, even the roofer that doesn't understand QuickBooks, they still understand their business. They understand how
Yeah.
they quote jobs. They understand what overhead is. And if they start to get into marketing, they would understand that that lump sum category shouldn't be that way. Like the roofers understand structuring it correctly. Once they get in there, they just haven't started to get in there because they thought it's something they could outsource, and it's not.
I think that's, that's the kind of to the earlier conversation. It's this easy button. You say, hey, bookkeeper, you know how to set up QuickBooks. Hey, marketing agency, you know how to set up marketing. Go set up marketing for me. You like everything gets this, like, go do that for me. But without understanding it, without being a part of the process, like without saying, hey, no, this is how my business is run. Sometimes we have painters out. Sometimes we have, sometimes we're doing these other things and I need that broken out. I need to see that. Sometimes we're buying, from this supplier, that supplier, and sometimes we have these Home Depot runs. Boy, I want to keep an eye on those Home Depot runs, right? Like, because that's going to tell me something about my business. That's going to tell me maybe we're ordering wrong, right? It's going to, things that the numbers can make decisions on other aspects of the business. They can, kind of to what we were talking, they can bring some problems to light, right? Um,
There's another
but
big one, real quick, just on
yeah.
the QuickBooks, because I've been seeing this a lot lately. Two main things: your revenue recognition. So I've seen a lot of guys,
Mm.
they'll have maybe they take a 50% deposit, or maybe they bill for 100% and then they collect their progress payments, but they're billing for 100% of the job when the job is sold. So QuickBooks is calling it income, so it's making your profit look huge, but in reality, you haven't even done that job yet. So QuickBooks shouldn't be recognizing a $40,000 roof before you've bought any materials, scheduled the job, paid any crews. You shouldn't be recognizing that income because it's going to make your profit look great. And then if your vendor invoices aren't being added as bills in QuickBooks correctly at the right time, now your job materials category is short 100 grand because you're 30 days behind. So you're way overshooting your revenue up top, and then you're undershooting your expenses. And now your gross profit looks amazing. Looks like you have this super healthy business. Meanwhile, you're paying sales commissions that are too much that the business can't afford, and you're negative, but your books say that you're not. It's a problem, man. And when I do these
Yeah.
meetings, like people they almost want to cry because they think they're doing great and they don't realize they have all these problems. And just the main source of it is they just outsourcing their books and not paying attention.